Adam, good to see you, man. Thanks for hopping on this call.
Sure, pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, man. We're realizing through reviews like yours, people see the pendant and immediately they're like, it resonates with them and they can connect that to either a mindset that they try to put on every day, personal philosophy that they try to embody, or a lot of times it'll come back to either a specific story or a series of life stories that this person who buys the pendant wants to remember. But which pendant did you order?
I bought the Man in the Arena pendant, and I'd never heard the Man in the Arena before. I'd never heard the speech from Teddy Roosevelt. I didn't know that it existed. I came onto your site because I wanted a memento mori. I saw it and it just moved me. It reminded me of everything in my life that has held me back, everything that I've been afraid of, and all that stuff is within me. And it kind of reflected that back to me for a moment, and I thought that's what I have to have. And so there it was.
So you got the Man in the Arena pendant. What does that pendant remind you of when you see it in the mirror?
It reminds me that I am the man in the arena. My whole life, I have done extraordinary things. I've accomplished things that other people couldn't accomplish, literally. So you don't know this about me. I worked for UPMC, University of Pittsburgh Medical Center, UPMC East, to be specific. And I oversaw the patient finance division for them. And when you are top 10% in a metric, you get a gold cup. Top decile gets a gold cup. When you're top 11 people in the United States, you get a diamond. Okay. I was the number one holder of diamonds in the United States at one point. All right.
Wow.
But I've never sat back from that perspective and looked at it like that. I never took a step back and looked at it like from the perspective of the man in the arena. And you know something? It's wonderful that I've accomplished things in my life, but there are other things that I really want to accomplish. And there are other things that I strive for, I dream about, and I want for myself, not because it's my job, not because my name is attached to it, because it means something to me. I want to be the man in the arena there.
Hmm.
Okay. I want to be the man in the arena where my dreams are. And so that's, I guess, it struck that chord with me is that it's time for me to see myself in that perspective and to hold myself accountable to that vision that I have for myself.
I love that. Is there any part of your past that you'd like to share on this call that might, encourage other people? Is there maybe one or two life stories that you can share that were hard, but you chose to endure through them and you chose to have that growth mindset?
I'll give you one, and this is the most profound thing I think that's ever happened to me. So, about 6 years ago, and I did share this with you, my daughter committed suicide.
Mhm.
She was a sophomore at Savannah College of Art and Design, had been struggling with mental health her whole life, had done a whole bunch of outreach. She was suicidal, done a whole bunch of outreach, and just the system failed her. People weren't there to support, too far away from me, and she hung herself in her dorm. I, at that point in my life, was at UPMC. I was at the top of my game. I lived in a beautiful $1 million farmhouse in Hershey. I don't even know what it would be worth today. I collected art. I collected cars. I collected everything. I had everything that I want. I thought that I wanted. Okay. When that happened, I didn't think that I could go on. Um, you don't know what matters to you sometimes until you lose it.
Yeah.
And so after I lost that in, I turned to alcohol and I quit my job. I just gave up. I
Mm.
laid in bed all day long, all night long. I would try to sleep as much as possible. I would get up and drink, and I would drink fast and a lot,
Mm.
just to get myself to the point where I could pass out again. I was like this for, I don't know, 6 months. And finally, my wife says, "You have to get up. You have to." She opened the curtains and maybe go to the mountains. And it was a long, slow process in recovery back. Um, but adversity is something that happens to you or it happens for you,
Mm.
right? You have to understand that that's the nature of adversity. Adversity is not a bad thing, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
Man search for meaning, right? Viktor
Yeah.
Frankl, he found his true self in the worst, most despicable type of situation. I really found myself in. I did through that tragedy and through that loss. And I think about it every day, but I found myself. I remember what matters to me, and it's so crisp and it's so clear. And it's not the amount that I paid for something, it's not the amount of things that I have. It's this. Okay. It's being the man in the arena. It's being where my dreams are. It's believing in myself, and it's having worthy and noble dreams,
Yeah.
right? My vision for the world, I'm a vegan, and I've always wanted to do a YouTube channel. I've always wanted to do a lot of things that promote veganism and sustainability, a better environment. Um, I'm doing that. I'm putting myself out there. I'm arranging interviews with big companies, and
Yeah.
I am investing in equipment, and I'm learning how to cut and edit and film. This pendant is a reminder to me on a daily basis to get up and to do that, and to hold myself accountable. Again, like I had said to you earlier.
Yeah.
But again, to your question, if I can survive that and I can overcome that, I can survive anything. And if anybody's watching this, so can you.
I actually lost a very close family member to suicide last year, and
Oh,
so
I'm sorry.
thank you. I know how you feel. Not quite to that level, but
Well, I don't know, Ian. I think loss is loss and it hurts is all the same. So,
yeah, I think we can choose to accept things or reject them and resent. And so that's really encouraging to hear your story and just what you went through. I can't imagine. Um,
Ian, I'm taking it seriously. I'm
yeah,
taking this pendant. It's not just a pendant to me. Okay. I want you to understand that it's a reflection of who I am, who I dream to be, who I dream, what I dream for myself. Okay. And I've made some conscious choices and some conscious decisions that I've anchored to this pendant.
yeah,
And I'm even wearing this pendant around my neck that it's visible is not a comfortable thing for me. It's not something that I would normally do.
yeah,
I'm a much more reserved person than that. And so it will be in my shirt and I would just have it there. But that's not what this is about. Okay. This is about something bigger than me. And it's about being outside of my comfort zone. Okay. I'm taking what you're doing very seriously. And I took your I believe, I will, this I know to be
yeah.
true statements. I worked them out. Okay. I have a very solid list.
Love it.
I have reminders on my phone to reflect on this list 3 times a day. And I'm staying true to that. I am. And I'm not just going through the motions. You can't do that.
Hmm.
I'm reading your list and I've given myself 10 minutes to reflect. Those 10 minutes also are a blessing for me.
Yeah,
While it may seem to some like, oh, where am I going to come up with 30 minutes a day to do this? I'm going to tell you something. 10 minutes is not that much time. All
it's
right.
worth it.
It's worth it. It's a treasure trove of reflection, and you'll find your growth there in the reflection if you take it seriously. I say that to say that last night, one of the things on my list is I have a tendency to be a workaholic.
Hmm.
I have on my list that I'm going to take time to express gratitude and love to the people around me, which you would think after my loss is intuitive, right? But I'm still Adam. After
Yeah,
my loss, I'm still, there's still remnants of old Adam in there that I'm trying
yeah,
to work through. You're helping me to do that. This pendant is helping me to do that. So I said to my wife last night in bed, thank you for marrying me. I love you. And I want to tell you all of the things that I love about you. And I just started to list off some things. My wife starts crying. This morning I came up and I grabbed my stepkids and I say, hey, I want you to know the world's a better place because you're in it. And I started to tell them all of the things that I celebrated about them. Everybody's in the room and they said, are you dying? Are you
yeah,
okay? I said, kinda. There's a part of me that I'm trying to
yeah.
kill. you know, there's a part of me that needs to change. And so I'm growing. But it's an intense thing, Ian, that you're doing. I don't know if you fully know, maybe you do, but if even one other person experiences what I'm experiencing and what I'm going through because of this and because of what you're doing, what you've done is a total success.
I really appreciate that, man, and that is wildly encouraging for me to hear that.
It's cognitive behavioral therapy, is
Yeah,
what it is,
yeah,
and you would pay a lot of money to go and see somebody who would eventually get you to where you're getting somebody in a much faster way.
yeah,
Okay. I worked in psychiatry for many years. My boss is a therapist. I said, you've got to see this dude. You've got to see what he's doing. You've got to see what I'm getting myself into. He looked at it. He said, oh, it's cognitive behavioral therapy. And he said, it's a really solid version of it as well. I mean, this is a therapist with 30 years of experience.
wow, okay,
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the other part of this, Ian, is that it's a force multiplier. You're accelerating an outcome by going through this program. I truly believe that if you can commit to that 30 days or
yeah,
that 60 days or whatever you're willing to put into it, 30 days at a minimum, you're going to come out on the other side of that a better, stronger person because you're going to habituate the things in your life that you
100%.
need to work through. So I want to say to you that the one thing that I really love is, and I'm encouraging anybody that may watch this, that may be getting involved with this, to take your "I know this to be true" statements very seriously. So I'm a person, you don't know this, but I'm a person that spends a lot of time quoting others, but it was always in the context of a need,
Mm,
right? So I'm saying I know this to be true, and I really didn't take it lightly. I sat back and I said, "What do I know to be true?
mm,
What are the things that would inspire me? Me, not what are the right things to say in a situation, not what is the most applicable quote. What is in this heart?" It was a one, even just that was one of the most thought provoking, wonderful exercises, Ian. So, like, as an example, whatever you do, if you do it with a pure heart, you'll succeed, right?
mm,
This was a person, if you saw the movie To Kill a Tiger on Netflix, this was a 13-year-old girl who survived a gang raping and refused, no matter how much pressure people put on her to drop it, no matter how much ostracization, no matter how much isolation she faced, she refused. She wanted justice for herself.
yeah.
And at the end, when she got the justice, she said that statement. And I just remember being so moved by that.
Mm,
Nelson Mandela, I never lose. I either win or I learn.
mm,
Right.
that's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chad Foster, I didn't know who he was. He's a big deal. I don't know if you know Chad or not. The biggest
No.
influence in your life is you,
Yeah.
right? The power is with you.
Yeah.
Um, I want you to know that your I believe statements, your I will statements, the structure that you have for this. I was brutally honest with myself, and that's another thing that I want to encourage the people that are going through this process with you. Be brutally honest. Say the things in this. Nobody's going to see this document but you.
Yeah.
Say the things to yourself. The worst untruths that you could ever say in your life, or the untruths that you tell yourself. You're giving people the opportunity to be really, really honest and to really lay it out. And I just think it was a beautiful thing. I thank you so, so much for this opportunity.
Yeah.
I'm coming back for that acting on Verba Pendant
Okay.
because it's two things. Ian. It's the man in the arena, and it's also, and that's great. You're in the arena, and when you're in the arena, it has to be actions, but it's actions, not words.
Yeah.
And I really want those two things to go together. I've been encouraged to do that, and I'm going to do it.
I love it, man. Dude, you made my whole day. You made my whole month, dude. Thank you so much.
Oh, good, good.
We'll
All
keep
right,
in
Ian.
touch.
All right, sounds good.
All
Pleasure to
right.
meet you.
Yeah, you as well, man. Thank you.
All right,
Have a good rest
bye
of your
bye.
day. Bye.